Nearly every day we hear people arguing for the separation of church and state. And oftentimes they take that concept out of line and they try to say that there is nothing in the Bible whatsoever that can be applied to the government, to the way that we are to treat those in government, or even instructions toward those who are serving in government. But surprisingly, the Bible has a great deal to say about government, especially in the book of Proverbs. We find passages that provide instructions both to those in government as well as those who are to be subject to governing authorities. We begin in Proverbs 14 and verse 34, where Solomon says that righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. It's important to remember as we go through this study that at this point Solomon was the king of Israel. He was the supreme earthly ruler of that nation. And though this passage is not specifically referring to civil government, there are certainly principles that apply to it. A nation will be exalted before God due to the righteousness of the people. Therefore, those in positions of authority ought to encourage righteousness. And this will be done primarily by directing the force and the wrath of government's power toward those who are wicked and away from those who are righteous. But Solomon also says that sin among the people brings shame upon the nation. Therefore, those in authority should not support or encourage wickedness among the people. But let's start out today by talking about government and its place and its role. Solomon says that by the transgression of a land, many are its princes, but by a man of understanding and knowledge, so it endures. Proverbs 28 and verse 2. Many years ago, Brother E.M. Zur explained the significance of the many princes in his comments on this verse. He says that a prince is a leading person without official authority as a general thing. Some men are brought into prominence by the misdoings of a country, but one man of substantial kind of knowledge will ensure the state of a nation. These princes that arise through the transgression of the people will threaten the long-term health of the nation. They consume the country's resources while doing nothing to fulfill the government's God-given role. But actual understanding and knowledge are far more important contributions that one might make for the health of a nation than merely holding some official position. Solomon goes on to say that the fury of a king is like messengers of death, but a wise man will appease it. In the light of a king's face is life, and his favor is like a cloud within the spring rain. Proverbs 16, verses 14 and 15. The king, in his role as the head of civil authority, holds the power of life and death over the people that he rules. Unfortunately, this verse says nothing about the justice involved in punishing or rewarding certain ones. And for this reason, several passages in Proverbs emphasize the need for kings to rule with justice. Yet the constant element that exists in all human government is sadly not justice, but is power. Solomon says that a king who sits on the throne of justice disperses all evil with his eyes. Proverbs 20 and verse 8. Being in a position of power, God expects rulers to establish their throne on justice. If a ruler does this, then evil will be dispersed because justice demands that wickedness be punished. Solomon also states that a wise king winnows the wicked and drives the threshing wheel over them. Proverbs 20 and verse 26. One of the primary responsibilities that government has is to punish those who do evil. The King James Version says that a wise king scattereth the wicked, again emphasizing the fact that a ruler acting according to his divinely given role will be a cause of fear for those who seek to do evil. But then on the other hand, this also implies that when a government refuses to punish wickedness as it ought, then sin will abound. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today, and have a blessed day.